Okay, so now we're going to begin our discussion of the nervous system. You may remember from Chapter 1 how we talked about these different levels of organization. And we began with atoms, moved into molecules, cells, tissues, organ systems. There were 11 of them. And then all of those organ systems worked together to give us the entire organism. And so when we think about the nervous system is at the organ system level. And so before we get into some of the details, some of the cellular details of this system, the tissue details, the organ details, I want to talk a little bit about just the purpose of the overall system. It's really important to have this big picture. And if you're following along on the notes, we're here where we're talking about the big picture. And so to think about what does the nervous system do for the human body. So I generally like to start in class with this slide, and what this is showing is a piece of skin here, and then we have this big blue thing that looks like it has kind of these sticky feet. It's going to go over to this structure, and this is actually representing the spinal cord. Here we have another structure with red sticky feet. This is a nerve cell. It's called a neuron. This blue one over here is also a neuron, a nerve cell. And then over here what we're showing is muscle, skeletal muscle, the things that move our bones and that give us mobility. And so let's think about the function again of the nervous system. So what we begin with is we actually begin with in the skin, and this is just one example. We're going to talk about many examples, but say your skin, say a mosquito comes and lands on your skin and it's going to pierce your skin with its little proboscis, okay? Well, what that means is that you have just felt something on your skin. And so that would be an example of a stimulus. We can feel pain, we can feel temperature, stretch, pressure. All of these different things are sensations, things that we feel, okay? Now, this is where the nervous system comes in. There's a thing called a receptor that picks up that sensation and says, wow, a mosquito just pierced my skin. I think I feel pain, okay? And so that's where there's going to be receptors right here, and they are going to send an electrical signal down this nerve cell, down this neuron, and it's going to go first to the spinal cord, and if we go up this way, it will even reach the brain. The brain, or sometimes just the spinal cord, we'll talk about those differences, will process that information, and it's going to do something about it. You can think about it. If a mosquito lands and pierces your skin, you're probably going to try and jerk your arm away to move the mosquito off. And so in that case, the signal goes to this neuron here that's part of the spinal cord. It's processing that information, and then to get a response, the electrical signal travels down this red nerve cell, this red neuron, and it's going to go over here to the skeletal muscle, and it's going to cause the skeletal muscle to contract so you can move your arm away from the painful mosquito. Let's put some words in here. So, as a reminder, skin in this example would sense the stimuli because it has receptors. That information, an electrical signal, travels down this sensory neuron. It's a stimulus, so it's a sensation, so it's a sensory neuron, okay? The word that is used for that electrical signal is nervous impulse. You may also hear it action potential, okay? So again, stimulus picked up by receptors, and then that's going to travel as an electrical signal down this sensory neuron, this sensory nerve cell. It goes here to either the spinal cord or the brain, and there that signal is transferred to the next neuron, kind of like a relay race. That neuron is called the interneuron. Inter means between. Once the brain or spinal cord decides what to do about this stimulus, then it is going to send a nervous impulse, an electrical signal, down the motor neuron. And that neuron is going to send a little signal to the skeletal muscle. And the general name for things that respond are effectors. Okay? So, just to give you the super big picture, sensation comes in, and then through this process, the body responds. So, sensation to response. And we can think about, there's lots of examples of this, and you can think about ones in your own life. If you hear a loud noise, the noise is the sensation. You might jump or turn your head towards it. That's the response. If you burn your hand on the hot stove, the heat is the sensation, and the body is going to jerk your hand away. That's the response. Okay, so we're continually moving from sensation to response. Okay, and we do that. Receptors receive the sensation, goes through a sensory neuron, interneurons in the spinal cord or brain decide what to do. Response, the command, comes out through a motor neuron, and the effectors are the things that actually respond.